Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the slightly delayed, but we somehow made it, the Joe and Joe Weather Show, which tonight is brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, New York. 631-756-1125 is the telephone number, and the website is omnitruevalue.com. Also brought to you by Wholesale Holiday Lighting by Giannini, your complete holiday lighting specialist, meeting all your decorating needs at 162 Ocean Avenue in Lindenhurst, New York. 631-957-5106 is the phone number there, and the website is liholidaylighting.com. So let's wish a happy birthday to our friend Chuck Cardillo, and many happy returns of the day, Chuck. Awesome. Chuck is a very loyal member of this group every night, and we want to give him a big hello, a big happy birthday, and big birthday hugs. So we'll start the show on a positive note.
Yeah, I just realized something, Joe.
Yes.
And my wife is watching, and she will start shaking her head and saying, "Oh no, oh no." It's also my brother-in-law's birthday today, and she said earlier in the day, "Now, don't let me forget to call Johnny and wish him a happy birthday." And of course, naturally, here we are, 7 minutes to 8 o'clock, and we still haven't done that yet. So I guess after the show,
well, she's it's a birthday too.
And if any of you are wondering why I might be talking a little bit differently, it's because I apparently have a canker sore on the side of my tongue, and it's exceedingly very, very annoying, and is making it difficult for me to enunciate the way I normally do. So
yeah, I used to get them quite a bit, and then I don't get them anymore. So I knock on wood.
Well, I haven't had anything like this in a good long time, so I don't know what caused it, but whatever it is, it's making me sound a little bit differently. So
yeah,
what can I say?
Yeah, it's a flare up in your body, and it appears, and then it'll just magically disappear. So just have to kind of bear with it. Now, for all the consternation of a stalled front offshore and waves moving along it, and this model flooded it out, and this model did it. One model, the other model flipped. It turned out that we could probably confidently say that they were all wrong, because most of this slid out just far enough east that just about everybody missed, except for eastern Long Island and southern New England, and of course down in the Delmarva Peninsula in coastal Virginia, North Carolina, eastern North Carolina. They got into some of the rain, but it was amazing how some of these models going into this week, we're really kind of putting a whole lot of energy for what was going to turn out to be only 6 hours of rain anyway. But bringing up rain, and then ultimately the front was so far offshore, and I guess the clue should have been the fact, Joe, that the northern part of that front went out almost to 65 west and stalled out. If it had stalled out near 70, that would have been I think it would have been a different ballgame. But it stalled out at 65 and then just came back, west-southwestward, and then right down along the Carolina coast. There was not enough of a southerly flow to bring it up the eastern seaboard of any importance. That really is what it boils down to.
Yeah, I just mentioned the possibility of a little spitty, or maybe I could call it spotty, light rain south and east of Interstate 287 tonight and into early tomorrow. But for the most part, the Hudson Valley probably will be dry right on through tonight, tomorrow, and it looks like right on through the balance of the week as well, and maybe into a good part of the upcoming weekend.
Yeah, and we're just going to transition over into a very warm to hot pattern that'll carry us through the weekend and into next week. And there is not really a whole lot more going on. There's some signs that I've been talking about August 8th and beyond, that the window of opportunity, I think, is going to open up for tropical cyclone development. And looking at some of the stuff I saw today, I'm a little more confident on that prognostication, which I made the subject of today's poll. I put myself in the thick of it, and said that brought up my prediction of the last week or two about the week of August 8th, and the question is, will there be a named tropical storm on the map sometime next week? And so far, 61% of the folks out of 61 votes, 61% say yes, and 39% say no. So I don't know if you've added your $1.99 opinion to it.
I did, and I don't think it's going to be next week. I think it'll probably be the week after that we'll begin to see things start to cook. With your luck, it'll probably come the day after next week. The period of next week comes to an end. But we'll see. I'm sure we're going to start seeing things rev up, but not in the foreseeable or the immediate future during the next few days or maybe even during the next week or so. And again, we'll keep an eye on the tropics. One forecaster who was mentioned more than once on the chat board alluded to the fact that one of these waves that we were supposed to get was going to rev up and be something the equivalent of Elsa, and that never happened. So there you go. Forecast of tropical activity went down south.
I'm going to start with that tonight because this way I can, close this loop off, and then maybe it'll make things a little bit smoother with some of the technical problems that I seem to be having tonight. Just a very strange night overall. And if you take a look in the tropical Atlantic, of course, the Hurricane Center did mention several systems that they are looking at, and one of them is right near the Cape Verde Islands. That's just going to disappear, so we're not really too concerned about that. There's another little wave that's to the south of there, and one that's out. Actually, the wave that is of more importance hasn't even come off the African coast. But if you look on the right of your screen, you can see on the angle there is a fairly well-developed tropical wave that is moving to the west and is going to be coming offshore somewhere between 10 and 15 degrees north. I think that's the one the Hurricane Center on their last outlook mentioned that there could be a 40%. They put it in that orange area, so in the 5-day forecast. So we might as well bring up the new updated forecast. So they got rid of the X that they had near the Cape Verde Islands. They still have the X sitting further to the west, marginally conducive for some slow development over the weekend by Sunday and into early next week as it moves west-northwest. They're only rating that as a 20% chance. And we'll go to the 5-day graphical outlook to pick up on the other system, which is, I figured they probably would leave it at 40% in the 5-day period, 0% over the next two, because it has to come off the coast first. So nothing's going to happen until it does that. So this is the one that I'm going to have to bank on, I think, in terms of tropical cyclone formation. So we'll see what the world brings from that respect. And a lot's going to really depend, Joe, on it. Was, the Atlantic was a mess, but the upper low that was in the subtropical Atlantic is moving westward. That should improve the upper air conditions to an extent, but there's a lot of other little things running around there that's creating shear, and that's going to be, I guess, ultimately the determining factor. If that shear doesn't get out of the way, then this next system coming off is going to have a much more difficult time of it.
Well, 1 year ago today was when we had Itzaia visit us with high winds and heavy downpours and rain and all kinds of mayhem, and I lost power for about 3 days in the aftermath. But that was the I storm. We have only so far gotten up to the E storm, and if we can keep quiet tropical storm-wise or tropical cyclone-wise until the 13th, and that's next Friday, a week from this Friday, then we will make it all the way to last year's J storm, which was Josephine, and we'll be a full 5 storms behind in terms of names. And it'll be interesting to see what that system down over the North Atlantic does in the coming days ahead. But I think it's going to be after the 13th that we'll see any kind of system truly rev up and become at least some kind of a tropical disturbance. Till then, I think we're going to continue for at least a little while longer with some quiet weather, Joe.
Well, I just pulled up the the wind shear profile from 850 millibars up to 200, and it's a bit of a change from yesterday. There are pockets of shear, but there is less shear, and there is actually there's a closed 10-12 low. This is for next Tuesday, where it's sitting. So a week from today, at roughly at about 40 west and around 12 and a half degrees north. And there's an upper high sitting over it, right here, right over there. So there's the upper high is sitting right over it. And the upper low that's in the subtropical Atlantic has pulled up to the northwest. And we can highlight that now because it lifts up northward toward Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. So the upper air conditions seem to be improving based on this. And in fact, as we roll this along, Joe, it looks like this particular run of the GFS starts to develop it as it moves westward. So we'll see. A long ways to go. It's a week from now, but the poll is up there, folks. Right now, the score is 62-38. And by the way, I do want to give a big thank you to Mike McGuire. Just rolling it back here on the chat board. I can't see it now. Mr. McGuire hitting super chat tonight, and it's most appreciated. He got the vaccine, he said today, which is a positive. So thank you for doing that. Joe and I do certainly appreciate it. So I'm going to reset this map and go back to the regular GFS. And come on. Load. Okay, so while it's doing that, let's come back to the satellite loop. And of course, take a look at this, Joe. The back edge of the clouds is now already pulled almost to the western New Jersey and points southward. This is all sliding out right up the coast, but just offshore. And I think we're probably... One thing about tomorrow, though, is this stalled frontal boundary is still going to be hanging around. So I wonder whether there still might be some cloud issues at times during the day tomorrow.
I have the forecast tomorrow of more clouds than sun. I think we're going to be seeing more in the way of cloudiness tomorrow than sunshine. Everything seems to be moving at almost parallel to the coast, and so it'll be close. I mean, like places like northwestern New Jersey may break out into bright sunshine. Meanwhile, New York and especially Long Island may be stuck with clouds for a good part of the day tomorrow. I think everybody, though, is going to clear out tomorrow night, and that should set the stage for a very, very nice day on Friday.
Yep. Meanwhile, still seeing tons of smoke in the western lakes, in the plains, back up into the northern Rockies, and all that milky white that you see there. The brighter white clouds are obvious that those are producing some showers and a couple of thunderstorms. And we have also an east-west band of showers and thunderstorms along the Gulf Coast, but pretty far south. Most of that stuff is actually offshore. Showers and storms have been more numerous today in the state of Florida. And you can see here on the radar that they're a little less than they were a few hours ago, but they're still there. And also east-west across the Florida Panhandle. I had some showers and a thunderstorm roll through this afternoon here. And meanwhile, in the Northeast, except for eastern Long Island, and it is raining heavily in southeastern New England, in and around Cape Cod, and to almost but not quite to Boston, but back over into Rhode Island. So that's the area that really caught this, and that's moving away to the northeast. Some scattered cells tonight in western Pennsylvania, West Virginia, down into North Carolina, and continuing through Georgia. You can also see there's some showers and a few thunderstorms from western Minnesota down into Nebraska, western Kansas, northwestern Texas, and some scattered stuff across Montana and parts of Idaho. The Storm Prediction Center has a marginal risk up in Montana. Everywhere else, though, no risk being indicated. And over the next couple of days, it really is all about just marginal risk as far as severe weather is concerned. And that's going to be up in the northwest for tomorrow. Thunderstorms, no thunderstorms being forecast, except for in the Appalachians, but no thunderstorms, Joe, from Maine all the way down into the Gulf states. So pretty unusual to see that. But behind this low, the air is fairly stable, so it's kind of making sense. And then as we go on to day 3, which is the period of Friday into Saturday, just a small area of marginal risk, northeastern Wyoming, western South Dakota, southwestern North Dakota, and southeastern Montana in a marginal risk. But still, no thunderstorms from Virginia on up into southern Maine. The rest of Maine is in a general risk for thunderstorms, and from North Carolina south down to the Gulf states in a general risk for thunderstorms. So this is just going to be the typical August stuff that we're going to see, the scattered afternoon storms that are going to pop up. There's no real driver for any kind of severe weather outbreak.
I'm astonished by the fact that literally it looks like half the United States is in that swath of moderately thick dust or smoke from those wildfires. It seems like the cleanest part of the United States is here in the east. I mean, even though we had cloud cover here today, if the clouds were not overhead, we probably would have had some semblance of blue sky. But out west, my goodness, even under clear skies, it looks like the many places are experiencing smoke or smaze or dust. It's just incredible, unbelievable.
Yes, very much so. For this time of year, usually there's scattered thunderstorms going on just about everywhere. But this has been sort of a strange summer in a lot of respects. I've had that feeling for the last 2 months. There's a strangeness to it. Maybe that's not the right word. I don't know, but it just maybe it could also be that it's been a long time since we've seen a pattern like this during the summer months. So perhaps that's the reason why it feels a little bit odd to me. Meanwhile, WPC, you could see that little stripe of heavier rains in southeastern New England. And even here, it looks like it might even be a tad overdone. But not much in the way of measurable precip, though, for the next 7 days, except in pockets in upstate New York and down to West Virginia, coastal North Carolina down into Florida. Most of the southern half of the U.S., from east to west, really not showing a whole lot of rain. Picks up a little bit in the western Great Lakes, a few pockets up in the northern plains, but really nothing outstanding, and nothing that, by the way, is being driven by any tropical system, because we don't have a tropical system in play at the moment. There's your stalled frontal boundary. It's kind of backed up to about 40 and 70 on the map tonight. We've got a low that is sitting in right on the outer banks of North Carolina, a weak 10-14 low that's going to run up along that frontal boundary and pull the rain out a little bit further to the east. And of course, by doing that, with the whole frontal boundary shifting eastward, it really takes any kind of last wave that develops on it is going to take it further offshore, and it's not going to be a big problem here at all, other than the fact that we might have some leftover clouds, as you said, Joe, along, right along the coastal plain, perhaps. Inland areas may have more sun than clouds, and coastal areas more clouds than sun. And as I'm just rolling the GFS backwards just to get it into the current time frame, because the maps are trying to load here. But here we go on Friday. The frontal boundary is all but gone, and the ocean high is beginning to build back. Some kind of weak backdoor front approaches Sunday, but it really doesn't have much with it, and that looks like it just basically disintegrates anyway. And then here we go into next week with a southwest flow, trying to see when the next type of front is going to come by. And Lord, it doesn't even look like maybe we may have to wait all week for something to go by. So if that's the case, it's going to get, we're going to have a couple of days next week where temperatures are going to probably climb up into the 90s.
Yeah, I actually think, Joe, that Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, all are prime candidates for 90-degree temperatures. And unfortunately, along with that, dew point temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. So it looks like it's going to be fairly oppressive for a time or during the times during next week.
Yeah, there's a weak front for Thursday night and Friday, but there's not much behind it. It's the air behind it is as warm as the air ahead of it. It's more a reflection of maybe an upper trough going by than anything else, and I'm just carrying it through next weekend. I mean, we're still in a very warm, very humid southwest flow. Keith James hitting super chat. Thank you, Keith. The odds of Newark getting 100 degrees this go around, I don't know. I mean, you know, Newark can push 100 because they seem to be running 3 or 4 degrees higher than everybody else, which means no one else would get above 95 or 6. So look, it might find a way with the thermometer sitting on the airport runway to do it, but it's not an ideal setup for temperatures approaching the century mark from what I'm seeing. You know, I usually like to see a west wind or a west-northwest wind. I mean, there are a couple of days next week, Tuesday and into Wednesday, where you sort of have that, but you also have the model generating some scattered showers and thunderstorms. So that might, you know, that might be part of the equation too. How much cloud cover are you going to have? And also, we're in the time of year where you in August you start to get those mornings where you have low clouds and fog that come in. At least along the coast, and then you lose maybe a couple of hours for that stuff to burn off. So you have to take that into account as well.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, Joe, because you know, already I'm beginning to notice the changes that have taken place with the shortening of the days. They weren't really immediately obvious, let's say in early or mid-July, but now here we are, early August. And the sun is now starting to come up close to 6 o'clock instead of 5:30. The evenings are beginning to get a little darker. We're beginning to notice now the change toward dare I say cooler or maybe even chillier conditions in the weeks and months to come with the shortening of daylight.
Yep. Hey, you know what? Before you know it, so I'm going to run. I'm going to take the. Well, let's run because I got this already up here rather than wait for the other maps to load because this run of the GFS does develop that system out in the that comes out of the tropical Atlantic, and you'll see it make its appearance here, or it should, because I saw it before, unless I was looking at the wrong something else.
Whoops.
Hold on, before I speak too loudly. Now there is, you know. The GFS on this one has some kind of front of importance around the 16th. But that's still a long ways away. Come on. 360. Oh, must have been the prior run. Must have been the 12Z run that had a storm, a hurricane off the East Coast at the end of the forecast period. Because as usual, on the next run, it's completely gone.
Well, I've always said don't put too much weight or emphasis on the intermediate, the 6 and the 18Z runs. Stay with the 0 and 12. And if they did have that Hurricane, Joe, I'm sure the 0Z tonight will have it right back this way you want.
All right, well, let me see. Let me just pull up the 12 because I saw it. I saw a 959 low sitting off the East Coast on the tropical tidbits here on whatever I had up there, but now it's not there. What the hell did I have up? Oh, this is really bizarre. I had something up that had it up there. I did. He did. So putty tat.
He did.
Oh well, you know what? Forget what I said. Just forget it. I don't know what I was looking at.
Yeah.
I'm having so many technical issues today. I'm just, I'm seeing things. And now it's loading some more, so let's just run it through. There's something further south down in the Caribbean on this run. I can sort of see the top of it as it goes by. This was on the 12Z. So I guess I must have been imagining things. I don't know. What can I say? The chairman hit super chat. That's what I can say. Thank you, Scott. All good here, by the way. Just asking about how is the chat family doing? Well, this chatter is doing quite well, thank you.
all things considered.
Yeah, you know what happens whenever we get when I get these technical issues, it just and the thing was I set everything up early today. I had everything ready to go. I sat down to a nice dinner. I didn't eat cherries 30 minutes before the show like I did last night. And all of a sudden, as soon as we were just about ready to go, everything just completely fell apart. So it's just one of those days, I guess. I'm going to bring us back up full screen. Hang on a second here. Oh,
Here he is.
here we are. We're here. So, anyway, we have a Briller Jeopardy. No, I really didn't have any other weather stuff to talk about. It's one of those times that, when there's, I'd much rather have something to talk about weather-wise than not have something to talk about. This is one of those times when it's quiet. It's tough. It is tough to do a show, but we try. We forge on. We forge on.
Do I have the question or do you have it tonight?
I think you have it again because I did so well last night. Of course, I'm not going to. I
Right.
probably am not going to do that well. That well tonight, but we'll see.
All right. Well, let's see. I have here 6 sides of a cube. No, I think you must have it, Joe. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Maybe I. Hi, Joe. That was easy for Mr. Choppy last night. Here's a much harder one where he only gets hints on 3 of the 5. Good luck, Mr. Choppy. Replace capital letter with a word to complete thought. Only hint if he gives up. Only give a hint if he gives up. So number 1 here is 23 P of C in the H.
23. I have to write these things down here. Hold on.
Right.
23 P of C. Right in the
HB.
H. In the HB.
Yes.
It's 2 words. HB or yeah, it's got to be 2.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Well, before you put the B in there, I was going to say 23 pieces of cake in the house. Okay, 23 has got to be the giveaway here. 23 pieces of cheese in the, oh God, HB. All right, I'll take a hint here.
All right. Anatomy. Excuse me.
Anatomy
Yes.
is the clue. So part of the body. God. 23 P of C in the HB. By the way, Rick B just said it is the 18Z today that has the hurricane, the 18Z run of the GFS. And I have it up here. Oh, I see what I did. Oh, silly me. I had yesterday's, the Tuesday one was up there. Oh, good Lord. All right, so let me find, let me bring that map up just so that we know that I'm not completely insane, okay?
Oh, there it is. I see it. I see it.
You see it? There it is. It's a nice wrapped up little animal.
That's for Wednesday, August 18th.
Right, and of course there's some kind of high coming down, excuse me, with a cold front and an upper trough. So it would probably recurve if this surface and upper air scenario were correct. So that is what the model is picking up. I'm thinking on that system that the Hurricane Center is talking about that hasn't even
Between
moved off the African coast yet.
between 276 and 384 hours.
Okay,
So
so
somewhere down the
I
road.
wasn't crazy. Okay,
No.
I wasn't crazy. I was starting to think that I was losing my mind because um, I've been doing things lately with losing my keys and all the rest of it. I told you the story the other day with my keys, which was, I mean, it was sad if it wasn't. It'd be sad if it wasn't so darn funny. But so yeah, okay, good. Now I feel better. So 23 P of C in the HB.
Right.
All right. Oh God,
And the hint was
and the hint was
anatomy.
anatomy.
Right.
Okay. Um,
I'm going to give you a hint.
okay, go ahead.
Biology.
Biology.
Yes.
Oh. Yeah, I have no clue. I really have no clue about this.
Well,
None.
it is 23 pairs of
Chromosomes
chromosomes
in the human body.
in the human body.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right.
So there you are.
Uh,
How about this one? How about this one, Joe? And this is number 2. 6S of a C.
six. Six
6S of the
S
C.
of the C.
Of AC.
Of AC. Of a
Right.
C.
The capital letters are S and C.
Uh, six sides of a conundrum.
I'll tell you what, you got most of it. You just
Uh,
got to you just have to change one word and you got it.
Six sides of the uh, of the six sides of a no six sides of the AC.
6 sides of A, and the C is the capital.
Oh, six sides of, because I have the word the in there, and that was my mistake. Okay, hold on, I just broke my pen. Cheap bank pen. Six sides, six sides of a C. What has six sides? Six sides. Well, it's not cube. Six sides of a six.
What did you say that it was not?
Cube?
Now think about a cube, Joe. How many sides does a cube have?
One, two,
2,
three, 4, 5,
3.
six. Six sides of a cube.
That's right.
Oh my God. Oh, very
There
good.
you go.
Okay.
All righty. Through trial and error, he got it, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
So here's oh God. Well, actually, there's one number that should be a tip-off if you are inclined here. 52, capital W, capital K, on a capital P.
Okay. 52. Well, okay, so the W is weeks, right? 52 weeks.
No,
No?
no, I'll give you a hint. This is not the hint that Scott gave for you, but I'll give you a hint. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I wish my brother George were here.
All right. So 52 white keys on the piano.
There you go. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, I was able to do my Liberace even with a canker sore.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Number 4, and he puts in parentheses here. This one is very hard. And holy mackerel, Scott. Yeah, you're right. Here it is. 5A, capital A, in a capital S, capital P.
Okay, so let me read this back to you. 5A, Okay, so that's the missing word. In
Right.
a capital S, capital P.
Right.
That okay. 5A in a SP. Five. Oh. Five asses on a small pony.
Actually, in most P's today, if you see them on Broadway, usually you only have three A's instead of five A's, but this is a special type of P. Well, it's
on
an SP.
on Broadway?
If you go to Broadway,
Yeah.
the P that you normally would see, this sounds so overt. The P you would normally see if you went to Broadway would contain 3A, not 5A.
So the P would have three A's in it, is what you're saying.
In most cases, but in this particular case that Mr. Brewer is bringing up, the number of P's is five, not three. So you have to determine what kind of a P we're talking about.
Oh my God.
Somebody who tuned in just now is probably saying, "What the hell are they talking about with the P?"
Christinapedia says 5 acts in a play, but there's
There
an.
you go, Christinapedia. You got it. He
Well, you
didn't get
told
it,
me
but you got it.
you gave me a capital S and a capital P.
Right, and that's what it was. Shakespearean play.
Oh, in a
If she didn't say
stage play.
yeah.
In a stage play. Okay, 5 acts in a stage play. All right.
What he said, but he's got it here, Shakespearean play.
Okay. Either way, it's or a Shakespearean play. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yes.
That's a tough one. Are there any more?
Yes. This is dedicated to Miss Biles. 5R
Five
on
R.
the 5R on the capital O, capital F.
Five.
5R.
5R on the OF.
Right. Joe, look at your screen. Look at me.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
5R.
5 rings. 5 rings
OF.
on the office floor. 5 rings
Yeah, yeah, that's what's running right now on Channel 4, ladies and gentlemen. The office floor.
on the O. Well, F. It can't be finger because I don't know what O is. 5 rings on the O. I mean, is it finger? The last word?
No,
Oh, okay.
no,
Good. Five
no.
rings. 5 rings. Okay. On the.
Here's the hint, Joe. What's on TV right now? What's on NBC right now?
Oh, on the Olympics. So
Right.
the on the Olympic. I don't know what the F was going to be. If O is Olympic,
Five rings on the Olympic.
flag.
There you go. Oh, dear me. But he got it, folks. All we have to do is give him a little bit of coaxing, but he got it.
I kind of like mine though. 5 rings on the office floor,
Yeah.
or 5 rags on the office floor.
If we have enough drinks, we'll both be fine.
These are very, you know what? They are very challenging. I mean, they're almost impossible to get if you don't have a context at least to work on. But
Right.
oh, that's pretty cool. 6 sides of a cube of a cube. That was a good one too. And well, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Oh, 23 chromosomes in the human body. 23 pair of chromosomes in the human body.
Right. Right.
And 52, what did we say that was? 52
52 white keys on
keys
a piano.
on a piano, right. And yeah, 5 acts in a Shakespearean play, and 5 5 rings on the. I'm sorry. What was the last one we just did? 5 rings on the what? On the Olympic flag. See, I have to
Yes.
write this stuff down. On the Olympic flag, and this was 5 acts in a Shakespearean play.
Yes.
And this was 52. Oh God. 52 white keys on the piano. I have no memory. I don't. 6 sides of a cube. Okay, and the first one was pairs of chromosomes in the human body.
In the human body.
All right.
Yes.
Hey, I didn't do too bad tonight.
And do you know who Larry Parks is?
Larry?
There's nobody on the chat. He's nobody on the chat board.
No.
Larry Parks.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Larry Parks was an actor who used to he played he used to play African Americans in in the song Mammy. Well, actually Al Jolson did that, right?
Right.
I'm thinking about it like, and I'm thinking about a term when Jimmy Durante was playing a tune with Al Jolson and he was playing a ragtime piano. Jimmy Durante was. He turned to Al Jolson and he said, "And if you'll notice, Mr. Jolson, I don't need Larry Parks to play the black keys."
I have no idea who Larry Parks is.
I guess you needed to know who Larry Parks is.
Yeah.
Too. Whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Look him up in Wikipedia, folks.
Okay. All right. So let's try this again tomorrow, and hopefully there will be fewer technical issues tomorrow than we had today. Okay.
You hope.
Izzy D, I hope you're feeling better. I know you said because you have the diabetes and you were have trouble with you doing your drives on the truck. You got to move around. I know it's a tough thing to do, especially if you're sitting around in traffic. It's impossible to do, obviously. But thanks for hitting Super Chat, along with all the other Super Chat hits that we got tonight. Happy birthday, Chuck Cardillo. And we'll be here tomorrow night, even though there's not a whole lot of weather going on, but maybe we could have something of interest to talk about in the tropics if the models start getting a little more interesting in the next 24 hours. We shall see. So have a great evening.
Everybody have a great evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, bye.